Welcome everyone. I'm excited to be here today. We're going to explore the fascinating world of mathal Proverbs. On this first slide, you see the title, Mathal Proverbs. Today, we'll look at the meaning behind these proverbs, their significance, and how they reflect cultural wisdom. We'll also discuss some examples and their relevance in our lives. So, let's get started and uncover the wisdom embedded in these timeless sayings. Today, I want to talk about the concept of the mathal, which is often translated as simile or metaphor. However, in the context of the Quran, the term mathal actually encompasses much more. It includes proverbs, but also ideals and even wise sayings that carry deep meaning. So, a mathal is not just a simple comparison. It's a concise, yet powerful literary passage that expresses an idea clearly and impactfully. In Islamic sciences, the definition emphasizes that a mathal can take any form, as long as it conveys a meaningful idea, regardless of how it's constructed. It's designed to be impressive and moving, capturing attention and provoking thought. Now the Quran uses mathal in three main forms. First, we have the Musara mathal, which are stated proverbs, clear, direct sayings. Then, there's the common mathal, which are hidden proverbs, more subtle, requiring reflection to understand their deeper meaning. And finally, the mursal mathal, which are formless proverbs, more abstract expressions that still carry significant messages. Understanding these different types helps us appreciate the richness of the Quran's language and how it uses these literary devices to communicate profound truths. This concept ties into our overall theme of exploring effective ways of conveying knowledge and wisdom through powerful language. Let's take a closer look at this slide. The slide highlights an important concept, the use of comparison, or what is called a mathal musara, in the Quran. As the slide mentions, this form of expression is quite common, and it helps us understand deeper truths through vivid imagery. Here, we see examples involving fire and water, which are used as metaphors to describe the hypocrites who pretend to be Muslims. The Quran describes them as being like someone who kindles a fire. Initially, there is light, warmth, and benefit. But if we look closer, the Quran tells us that Allah can remove that light, leaving only the heat. This means that although they may appear to benefit from Islam outwardly, like a fire providing light and warmth, their hearts are in darkness. They are blind to the true guidance, and their faith lacks true enlightenment. The metaphor about fire illustrates how superficial their faith is. They may seem to have something, but it's not genuine. The slide also references the image of a dark rain cloud with lightning, representing the hypocrites' fear and confusion. When lightning flashes, they are momentarily blinded, yet they walk in darkness afterward. This shows how their faith is inconsistent and lacking true clarity. The key point here is that Allah is capable of removing all these outward signs and benefits if He wills. Their outward appearance of faith can be superficial, but Allah knows what's truly in their hearts. Connecting this to our overall theme, these examples remind us that true faith isn't just about outward appearances or superficial benefits. It's about genuine enlightenment from Allah, which lights up the heart and guides us truly on the path. In this slide, I want to highlight an interesting point about how Islamic teachings often use metaphors or parables, known as mathal, to convey their messages. What's important here is that these mathal are not just comparisons. They don't rely on the terms of comparison directly. Instead, they communicate deeper meanings that resonate naturally with human instincts and understanding. For instance, take the concept of the middle way or moderation, which is beautifully expressed in many verses of the Quran. This idea encourages us to avoid extremes, whether in spending or in prayer. When it comes to spending, Allah praises those who are balanced, neither extravagant nor stingy, but maintaining a just and moderate approach. This is reflected in the verse where Allah describes those who are neither extravagant nor stingy when they spend, but between that is a just stand. Similarly, in the context of prayer, Allah advises us to find a balanced tone, neither too loud nor too soft. The verse says, "Do not be loud-voiced nor extremely soft in your salah, but seek a path between them." The key takeaway here is that these mathal, or examples, serve as hidden messages, what we call the mathal common. They subtly teach us about balance, moderation, and the importance of avoiding extremes, aligning perfectly with our overall theme of understanding and embodying Islamic ideals through natural human instincts. Let's take a moment to explore the key points on this slide. This form of teaching uses short verses, often called mathal, to convey important lessons. Many of these verses have become well-known proverbs that we can reflect on. Unlike poetic expressions or similes, these mathal tend to be straightforward, without elaborate comparisons. However, they may still imply or suggest comparisons to highlight their lessons. For example, one verse states, "The foul and the wholesome are not equal," which reminds us to distinguish between what is good and what is bad. Another example says, "You think they are united, but their hearts are scattered," warning us to look beyond appearances and understand true intentions. Sometimes, mathal are used to motivate righteous actions by comparing them to appealing things that resonate with human nature. For instance, the verse about charity compares spending wealth in Allah's path to a seed that grows into 7 ears, each with 100 seeds, emphasizing the immense reward and multiplication Allah grants. This highlights how these verses are not just moral lessons, but also powerful encouragements for good deeds. Now, the term mathal mursal refers to the formless type of mathal, which is more abstract and less concrete. Throughout this presentation, we see how these short verses serve as effective tools for teaching, inspiring, and guiding us, connecting deeply with our spiritual and moral understanding.